Good day. We are the Group 2, and the Group 2 consists of Ms. Lea Asuncion Aquino, Mr. Nestor Bacolod, Ms. Darla Jesella Dingal, Ms. Therese Español, Ms. Cabeguin, and Mr. Rhoedel Querol. And now, we will present the comprehensive case study number 2, repairing jobs that fail to satisfy. Greenflow is a large residential and commercial plumbing maintenance firm that operates from the USA. The company's effective use of cost reduction but a rise in customer complaints suggests that the company's strong position may be sleeping. This case study is about the employees of Greenflow being unsatisfied and unmotivated in their work. Rhoedel, who is the regional manager of Greenflow for 2 years, conducted a survey, and it revealed that 60% of customers are satisfied while the 40% felt their experience was not good. The results also show that 30% of the customers would prefer the other competitors when they had a plumbing problem. The company's structure was also designed to be cost-effective, which stands out in the competition when it comes to price because they implemented a cost reduction strategy. The plumbers have very high wages. The assistants make about 1/4 of what a licensed plumber makes, so using an assistant is a great strategy to stay above the competition when it comes to price, while the order and billing processors make even less than the assistants. Even though specialization cuts down the price, it also led to dissatisfaction of the customers because of the lack of knowledge and skills of the order processors on some technical terms, which confused the customers. Aside from confusion, the most common complaints were about the response time and cost, especially when the wrong person was sent to a job. This could waste the customer's time, especially because the assistant was not skilled and qualified enough for the task at hand. This could also make the project more costly when the plumber was sent to an easy job because the rate would be the plumber's pay. In this instance, it was not only the plumber and the assistant who gets dissatisfied with their jobs, but also the order processors. Even though they've done the best that they could, they would still not understand what the customers are trying to say if they did not use the terms in the survey. Aside from the three, the billing representative was also involved in the customer service issue. The billing representatives complained that they only see the tail end and that they should not be responsible for the mismatched assigning of tasks or the unneeded expenses, but they are the ones who get yelled at. These problems may have been caused by the lack of skill and personality traits of the employees to interact seamlessly with the customers. They are not trained in this area since they view their work in technical and mechanical terms. A survey was then conducted to measure the satisfaction of the customers among different categories. The Greenflow culture, however, was focused mainly on cost containment, and employee satisfaction was still not a major issue. To save the company from the shrinking revenue, Rhoedel proposed to use cash rewards. She thinks that it makes the employees work harder that could make the customer satisfied. Rhoedel would give the order processors a small reward for every 20 successful calls completed, since it was hard to measure the satisfaction of the customers. She would also give a moderate cash reward to the plumber and the assistant if the job was a success and there are no complaints. Rhoedel also wants to change the hiring method. She thinks that standardizing across all branches in her region would be the best method to identify recruits who could succeed in the job and are a better fit with the company's new goals. To know more about the case, Group 2 will now answer the guide questions.
The employees of Greenflow are not motivated, which leads to failure to deliver the service deserved by the customers, hence the negative customer feedback. Customers that are not satisfied would likely switch to a competitor that serves better, for instance, the lightning plumber. All these raise a concern for the organization. A demotivated worker takes longer to accomplish the goals of the organization. Various researchers had extended effort and time to find a link between satisfaction and productivity of employees. Findings show that job satisfaction affects employee performance. A research from Oxford University suggests that workers are 13% more productive when happy. Other than job performance, there are a few more behavioral outcomes associated with job satisfaction. Employees who are satisfied with their jobs will most likely get to satisfy clients, which will result in good customer feedback and loyalty. A few factors contributing to drain flow's employee dissatisfaction are the lack of coordination, orientation, and organization. Drainflow has 2,000 employees that are divided into 4 job categories. The 4 job categories are plumbers, plumber assistant, the order processor, and billing representatives. Each job is dependent on another job to allow efficiency and effectiveness of job performance. Under the job characteristics model, plumbers and plumber's assistant both exhibit accounts highly of task identity, task significance, and feedback. Their jobs are both significant for the accomplishment of the needed task asked by customers. The reputation of the company mostly lies to them, since they are the ones that are sent to the field to complete plumbing tasks. When sent to fix plumbing issues, the success or failure of the job is on them. However, when the work failed or the job does not match the skills of the worker, they can be bombarded with complaints and will be obliged to explain. Moreover, this can also compromise the amount or pay for the service. Situations like this can be overwhelming and will considerably contribute to employee displeasure. Drainflow's job design is simple. However, it is disorganized and employees lack coordination. If given a chance to help boost employee satisfaction, we suggest job rotations between plumber and plumber's assistant. They are particular about plumbing-related tasks, so it will be easy for them to assign the work. Rotations reduce boredom and increase motivation according to our research. Moreover, training is also an option. The employees need training that would help them get oriented on different walks of the organization and a little about each job category. They need training that will provide them new skills. This is applicable to order processors. They need to have a variety of skills that would help them process orders effectively. Lastly, we recommend job enrichment intervention, which promotes autonomy, broadening of roles, increasing skill variety, and task significance.
More often, a person in an organization who holds the same position as Lea Asuncion would want to find ways to improve employee productivity. Question now is how? How do you motivate your employees to work towards this goal? One of the primary means to improve employee motivation and thereby change their behaviors is through money, such as bonuses and incentive pay. Some say that it's not possible, that motivation is something intrinsic and therefore nearly impossible to influence through external means. However, some also suggest that there are plenty of ways to improve employee motivation, and the key is finding what the employee values most. In this case, Lea Asuncion came up with a cash reward system to motivate their employees for their job performance to improve. However, she did not mention how exactly their reward will be awarded to each job category in the workplace. Also, She did not mention how much the amount will be and how often will this be distributed among workers. As our group analyzes this, we came up with a guideline that will provide clarity and guidance to employees. First, the reward will be given to individuals who have proved to increase customer satisfaction. The main basis for this will be the survey that is conducted after every service rendered to each customer. We think that this is a better alternative than having a category-wide distribution, as it may only foster slackness among employees. Second, the cash reward should be distributed on a monthly basis. We think that this time frame will allow just enough time for representatives to collect ample reviews from customers and determine both customer satisfaction and job performance. Also, a monthly basis would be good enough to keep employees eager in doing their jobs. Third, the cash reward will differ to each job category. For plumbers and assistant plumbers, we will have it on a quota basis. With this, plumbers and assistant plumbers will be paid based on how much extra service they have rendered to customers. However, for them to be eligible to redeem the rewards, they must receive high ratings, 70% or higher, and no complaints to indicate that they must have handled their jobs properly. It is important to know that higher ratings will yield higher amounts of incentives. For the call order processors, they will be rewarded for every 20 calls that are successfully completed. For billing representatives, on the other hand, they will be rewarded if they get at least 70% ratings or higher in customer satisfaction. To rate their service, they will have to ask the clients to rate their service right before ending the call. There are pros and cons to this cash reward system. Let's start with a list of some of the benefits of using monetary incentives to motivate employees in Drainflow Company. First off, it is motivational. In a study conducted by UK-based Genesis Associates, 85% of the workers surveyed said that they are satisfied with monetary incentives, either in individual or team-based projects. Responses suggest that incentives in the form of cash is a seemingly straightforward way to influence employee behaviors, as the program was shown to increase profits by more than $123,600 per week. Second is that it creates a sense of being valued. There's no worse feeling than working hard all day, only to be given a paycheck that does not reflect all of that effort. When employees are getting paid well and the company is offering them financial incentives for extra performance that they have rendered or any positive results in a company, employees tend to feel satisfied knowing that their work is making the bigger plan effective and that it is worth paying for. Creating a positive culture is a third advantage. If your workforce believes that your success will yield a bigger paycheck and increase financial security, they will be more likely to work efficiently and produce positive results. Given this perception, Porter, Bigley, and Steers suggest that job performance increases significantly. As there are advantages, there are also disadvantages in using a cash reward system. Here are some of the pitfalls in using a monetary incentive program. First is the increased destructive competition among employees, and second is its inability to create a sense of long-lasting commitment among the employees. Most people have categories for competition. If you have ever seen an athlete lose a game, you would probably assess his level of competitiveness in terms of how he responds when losing. If he is saddened or frustrated, that's one thing. But if he starts shouting, swearing, or throwing objects all around, you would probably say that he's a poor sport and that his level of competitiveness is already unhealthy. Similarly, in an organization, competitiveness can be both a vice and a virtue, or either. Second, committed workers are important. In the study conducted by Tilburg University in 2019, it was found that many of the participants stated that to be committed to the organization, extrinsic rewards such as cash are not necessarily the answer to increasing commitment among employees. Sure, it can yield positive results in the short term, but it does not necessarily mean that it will also be effective in the long run. Future issues can occur if people are continually given cash to reach the goal of customer satisfaction. The organization's cost account will continue to increase as employees meet the requirements according to the guideline just to be eligible to redeem the reward. While achieving this goal is important, it becomes costly for the organization in the long run. To avoid the emergence of this likely problem and any other similar problems, other types of incentives can replace this, such as 1. Recognition wall, and 2nd, year-end bonus.
Implementing a survey after each transaction is an effective method to collect data and to determine whether the customers are satisfied with the service provided to them. It will also aid to identify their willingness to choose DrainFlow as their service provider should another plumbing problem occur. Moreover, the survey would also help to analyze if the reward system contributes to changing the workers' attitude towards their jobs. Shown in the slide is the same survey the workers answered before the implementation of the cash reward system. It will also be used in determining their level of satisfaction after the said reward system has been executed. The survey will use Likert scale with 1 being the lowest and 5 being the highest level of satisfaction. On the other hand, here in the next slide is another survey table with a modified set of questions that will help in determining the level of customer satisfaction after transactions. This survey will still use the Likert scale with 1 being the lowest and 5 being the highest level of satisfaction. The data gathered from the surveys would be checked every week. Using the chi-squared method of statistical analysis and measuring the collected categorical data, the newest employee and customer satisfaction rating turnout would then be compared to that of last week, and so on. If a positive significant improvement is observed, Ms. Ronaldo's reward system would be deemed as a success. If a negative result is obtained, it would be declared otherwise. If the reward system is indeed proven to be effective, the dependent variables that would improve are the customer satisfaction ratings, the employee satisfaction with their overall working conditions, and of course the employee's productivity. It would also improve the company's overall revenue. The success of the cash reward system would be determined if there is an observed significant increase in all the variables mentioned. These results are interconnected with each other and their presence indicates the success of the cash reward system.
The group discussed and suggested several recommendations to improve the hiring process of the company. The first is to have a standardized interview guide in every job category. This helps the general manager in determining who's best suited for that job. They must acquire all the skills needed to perform effectively. Although they acquire all the necessary qualifications, they still need to undergo a 1-week training session to test their skills and help them prepare for the job. The training will cover how to handle customers, organizational behavior, enhancing skills related to the job category, and understanding other contributing tasks in the company. The second is to include in the hiring interview the Big 5 personality test, where the employees would take the exam to identify their traits, characteristics, and uniqueness that sets them apart from everyone else. This allows the company to understand how each applicant behaves in certain situations and how good they interact with others. The Big Five personality traits comprises extroversion, agreeableness, conscientiousness, neuroticism, and openness to experience. In businesses like Brainflow, where the company provides service, customer service responsibilities and emotional labor are very important. That is why the company should consider applicants with high agreeableness, high conscientiousness, and high extroversion. High agreeableness means how well the person gets along with others and tends to be well-liked, respected, and sensitive to the needs of others, especially to their peers or to the customers. High conscientiousness means people tend to control impulses and act in socially acceptable ways, behaviors that facilitate goal-directed behavior. Conscientious people excel in their ability to delay gratification, work within the rules, and plan and organize effectively. If employees work hard to do well with their jobs, then there will be more productivity in the company. Also, high extroversion is very important because the employees should know how to deal with problems and socialize with others. Especially that Drainflow is a service type of business, so they need to interact with other people and properly assist the customers. If the employees handle the issues well, then there will be high customer satisfaction. Third, the company can use a multi-factor decision matrix. It was discussed to us in Management 101 that a multi-factor decision matrix is a very effective tool whenever we hire somebody, and decision making is very crucial in choosing the right employee. By using the multi-factor decision matrix, it would be easier for the company to evaluate the alternatives by assessing their must and wants criteria. If the information from the employee matches the criteria of the company, then they can decide who to choose from the alternatives.
25% of customer contacts ended in no service call because customers were confused by the diagnostic questions the order processors asked, and because the order processors did not have sufficient knowledge or skill to explain the situation. Because of this, 1 in every 4 potential customers who call becomes unserviceable, and 1/4 of the potential earnings are lost. Order processors are the frontline personnel of the whole service setup of Drainflow. Hence, if something wrong happens during the interview due to their insufficient knowledge and skills about plumbing, the whole service setup would mess up. The obvious lack of knowledge of Drainflow's order processors ruin the response time because when the wrong person is sent to a job, the service is rescheduled. With this inefficiency, both the customer and the company's time are wasted, thus declining customer satisfaction and affecting the job satisfaction and emotional labor of all employees involved in the process. The success of the order processor in handling their call highly determines the success of the whole service setup. Complaints received by the billing representatives diminish only if the process is correct right and to the moment the order processor picks up a customer's call, even though billing representatives don't know what the original call entailed. This domino effect of dissatisfaction would prevail if the issue of poor customer service handling with the order processors is not resolved. If the dissatisfaction in Drainflow is not immediately resolved, researchers have shown that it could lead to other detrimental effects on the company, such as demoted employees, higher absenteeism, and turnover, leading further to a decrease in productivity and profits. To settle dissatisfaction among employees and improve customer service, the company planned to have cash incentives and a modified structured interview. Cash incentives have been seen by researchers to have a positive effect on the motivation, culture, and self-worth of employees. The goal-setting theory tells us that specific and difficult goals lead to higher performance. Hence, if Drainflow fulfills the monthly additional reward system based on the matrix we made, it would encourage employees to set higher goals to achieve such bonuses. Furthermore, the goal-setting theory tells us that challenging goals help employees focus and work harder to attain them. Thus, with a cash incentive, employees become persistent in trying to attain their goals. Aside from the goal-setting theory, the expectancy theory tells the same thing. With employees' personal goals and their attractiveness on the expected reward, the expectancy theory suggests that a cash incentive could motivate employees' behavior, leading to good performance appraisal. However, addressing the cash incentive does not resolve the root cause of job dissatisfaction in drain flow. It is only a mere band-aid solution to the problem presented up front, but not the deeper context of job enrichment in job design and variety of skills in the job characteristics model. Job enrichment is a motivation process designed for employees to have interesting and challenging tasks that require more skill. Drain flow may say training as an added cost when weighing the business budget. However, researches show that there is a direct link between job enrichment and increased satisfaction. Having poor technical and mechanical skills added with poor personality, order processors are bound to fail the service setup of drain flow. Thus, we recommend the company to have job enrichment in the form of skill building training as well as personality type tests so that employees, especially order processors, could have the personality needed as well as an expanded skills to identify and resolve tasks on their own, avoiding poor customer handling, and ultimately creating a positive domino effect on customer and job satisfaction all together in the process.